Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rich Krampanis. Welcome. We are live at the Lakewood Conference Center, and this is the 2006 WPDE All Zone team. Let's take a look at them. Congratulations to these great student athletes. We have 52 players on this year's rosters as we're going to celebrate a great high school football season. 4 local teams reaching Columbia, 3 state champions, and coming up, we will present the 7th Chevy Zoman Award winner. It is a special night for high school football. There they are. Let's get a round of applause from our parents and coaches here. This is a very talented team that many a college coach would be jealous of. Over the next hour, we'll meet each one of these outstanding student athletes, and we will present the 7th annual Zoman Award. So let's get this thing started. We're going to begin on the offense as we introduce this year's quarterbacks and running backs. Our 4 WPDE Zoman finalists are Scotty Cooper of Lake City, Malcolm Elder of Carvers Bay, Conway's Jr. Hemingway, and Cliff Matthews of Cheraw. We'll profile these outstanding athletes later in the show. Let's begin the 2006 All-Zone team with the quarterbacks. Mullen signal caller Dushawn Davis guided the Auctioneers into the 2A playoffs with a combination of running and throwing skills. Davis can pick up big yards with his feet, and he threw for nearly 1,000 yards and was intercepted just 4 times all season, throwing 14 touchdown passes. Dakota Derrick was a big reason that Conway made it to Columbia and the state championship game for the 4th time in 6 years. The junior signal caller had 22 touchdown passes and only 7 interceptions, throwing for over 2,300 yards. Amazing numbers considering he missed 2 games due to injury in the regular season. Myrtle Beach High quarterback Drew Ellis led the area with more than 2,000 yards in the air. The Seahawks junior is a great decision maker. He's thrown for more than 40 career TD passes. On top of that, Ellis is a whiz in the classroom. He's ranked number 2 in his class. Darlington QB Bootsy Gaddison is another junior phenom. He's the Falcons team leader who can beat you with his feet or with his arm. Bootsy is the heart and soul of the Purple Falcons, playing everywhere on the field. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver, special teams, and a part of the Darlington defense. Wesley Snow from West Florence had nearly 1,800 yards through the air in his senior season. Snow threw 11 TD passes and combined with fellow All-Zoner Brandon Bostic for one of the most electric combinations in the area. Snow is an excellent student, being courted by Ivy League schools. Here are the 2006 All-Zone running backs. Marion Jr. DJ Gauze is the Swamp Bucks' money man, according to head coach Marty McIntyre. Despite weighing just 150 pounds, he combined for well over 1,000 yards of total offense. As a runner, he averaged more than 7 yards a carry. And as a receiver, Gauze can bust a game open, picking up more than 17 yards every time he catches the ball. Lakeview's Dayton Jones is back for a 2nd straight year on the All-Zone team. Everyone knows him by his infamous nickname, Scooty Boot. The Boot once again was one of the main cogs in Lakeview's offensive engine. Jones had over 1,500 yards on the ground and propelled the Wild Gators to the 1A state championship game. Lamar's Avis Kennedy is a no-nonsense team player. The Silver Foxes let everyone in on the fun on Friday nights, but when Avis has the ball, he really lights it up. Kennedy's a combination of power and speed. The highlight of his senior season, a game-winning touchdown against arch-rival Timminsville with under a minute to go in the game to give the Silver Foxes a region crown. Wilson's Antoine Lyde runs the ball with style. He makes it look so effortless. He can bang it inside the tackles or make defenders look silly. Check out the numbers. Lyde with more than 5,000 career rushing yards for the Tigers and 50 touchdowns. He's the first ever 3-time WPDE All-Zoner. Conway's Alkeem Sherman overcame a slow first half to run the Tigers into another amazing season. Sherman delivered clutch runs when Conway needed to play the most and shattered the 1,000-yard mark in November. Sherman is one of 7 Conway Tigers on the 2006 All-Zone team. Johnsonville's Max Singletary led the Flashes to an improbable 9-2 season. He scored 17 times, running for more than 1,300 yards. He's also dangerous catching the ball out of the backfield, and his talent does not stop there. Singletary had 3 picks on defense and kicks off for Lewis Lineberger's Flashes. Cheraw running back Travis Small puts lightning in the area's most productive offense, which averaged more than 5 touchdowns a game. Small is the area's leading rusher and scored more than 25 touchdowns. He's got great vision and toughness It's hard to believe this 170-pounder is just a sophomore, and on top of that, he plays cover corner for Johnny White's Braves. And Travis Small had a huge second half at Williams-Brice Stadium in Columbia to get the Braves a state championship, a 28-24 win over Newberry. Mark Haggard is standing by with another state champ, and he's a legend, Joe McLaurin.
Yeah, it is my honor just to be standing here next to a guy who has now captured 4 state championships, 9 in the school's history, and Joel McLaurin, the Lakeview Wild Gators state champs. But the season started off tragic with the death of your quarterback, Ronald Sampson, but the team embodied his spirit throughout the year. Talk about that and why this state championship was even more special than some other state championships.
Well, the players wanted to dedicate the season to Ronald, and they played over the heads all year long, and it was a great win at the end, and especially in memory of Ronald and his family.
You've got 2 all-zoners here at the banquet tonight. Talk about those 2 young men.
Well, Charles Jones, he'll be playing in the Shrine Bowl this year, and he's been an outstanding lineman for us, defense and offensively. And Dayton Jones, which his brother Tootie Boot was on the all-zone team. Dayton has rushed for over 4,000 yards at Lakeview, and he had 1,800 yards his senior year.
You're going to have to learn how to not play these squeakers, though, in the state championships. I mean, 40-6 over Ridge Spring Minetta. There wasn't much difference between you and, I mean, let me tell you, you guys blew those guys out, and that was the final. So really, the win over Blackville Hilda, 21-20, that was kind of the state title game.
Yes, that was probably the state. Good thing we had them in Lakeview, and Dayton had a great game, and all the players probably had their best game of the year against Blackville.
Joel McLaurin of the state champion Lakeview Wild Gators. Rich, back to you.
Mark, thanks so much. And there is no question that Ronald Sampson would have been here tonight, and we like to think that the former Wild Gator quarterback is with us in spirit as Lakeview played an inspired season, winning the 1A Division II state championship in Orangeburg over Ridge Spring Minetta. Now, Mandy Mitchell is standing by with one of the electric players on this roster, and we only know him by Bootsy.
We do know him by Bootsy, and I'm going to get into why he's called Bootsy in a second. And I would call you the quarterback, but you're also, let's see if I get this right, running back, wide receiver, you play special teams, and defensive back, right? Did I get that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, tell me about how you do all of that for Darlington High School.
I give all the credit to the weight room. I mean, when Coach Matt came in, he said hard work wins. Got us in the weight room, we lifting weights, and it's paying off.
Now, this guy is only a junior. I know a lot of people in this room are very upset to hear that. Now, tell me what you're thinking about Darlington next year. And I mean, the Falcons had a pretty good season this year.
Just come back and we're going to try to win it all. We went 9-3 this year. It all goes to senior leadership. Our seniors led this year. We got to lead next year.
I'll give you a choice. You can tell the Bootsy story or I can.
I'll let you tell it.
Okay. His cousin saw him wearing boots one day, and he also had a pacifier. Is that the case?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now you should be sad that you made me do it. So back to you, Rich.
Oh, yeah, Bootsy Gaddison, he is fun to watch, and we'll be seeing a lot of number 3 this year and beyond. It's time to take a break. When we come back, we will introduce the rest of the 2006 WPDE All-Zone offense. That's when our live special continues here from the Lakewood Conference Center right after this. Welcome back to the Lakewood Conference Center. It is the 7th annual End Zone Banquet presented by the Carolina Chevy Dealers, honoring the top high school football players in the area. Coming up later on, we'll meet the finalists for the 2006 Zoman Trophy. But for now, here is the rest of our all-zone offense.
It's time to check out the 2006 all-zone wide receivers. Brandon Bostic from West Florence caught more than 40 passes for over 800 yards this season. He's dangerous in traffic, great hands, and not afraid to take a hit. He's Wesley Snow's favorite target, averaging better than 16 yards a catch, and he's playing in the North-South All-Star game. Chirrah's Jerron Brown is the most exciting of any underclassmen in the area at wideout. He's big, strong, and this junior is right in the mold of Junior Hemingway. Brown averaged more than 25 yards a catch and was dangerous on special teams. North Myrtle Beach senior wide receiver Matthew DeWitt has finally come of age. DeWitt, the younger brother of former Miss Hoop Zone Christina DeWitt, had more than 30 catches for Denver Cromer's Chiefs. DeWitt used his long frame to average more than 16 yards a catch, and he's heading to the North-South All-Star game. South Florence receiver Jimmy Hampton is an unsung hero on the Bruins roster. He had more than 500 yards through the air for Ken Cribb's offense. Hampton is a playmaker on both sides of the ball. The two-way starter scored several touchdowns as a receiver and made a few picks playing defensive back for South Florence. Georgetown wideout Angelo Johnson grabbed more than 30 balls for over 400 yards. He's got great hands and speed and is also an excellent blocker. Harry Avan says the 6'1" senior is intelligent and smooth at anything he does on the field. Johnson could have made All-Zone as a DB. He had 8 interceptions for the Bulldogs. Our 2006 All-Zone tight end is Marlboro County's Anthony Chavis. He missed much of the season after a freak accident led to a nasty leg injury. Coach Dean Boyd feared Chavis was lost for the season, but he came back to help the Bulldogs win a region title. Chavis is an excellent run blocker and dangerous receiver who rallied himself out of the training room and into the North-South All-Star game. Time to check out the beef now. It's the 2006 All-Zone offensive line. Laverne Bethea is the strongest center in the state. He uses his monstrous 340-pound size to out-leverage opponents. Bethea is a big reason why Marlboro County went through their region undefeated, and he's heading to the Shrine Bowl to represent South Carolina. Conway's Landon Bradley is 6'7" and weighs 270 pounds. He anchors the left side of the Tigers' offensive line that plowed the way for nearly 30 points a game. Solid as both a run and pass blocker, Bradley is committed to play football in the ACC for the University of Virginia. Darlington's Larry Johnson is about 2 biscuits shy of 300 pounds, according to head coach Phil Magdick. Johnson has amazing feet and quickness for a big man. The Shrine Bowler is simply a mauler in the trenches, opening holes for the Falcons' offense. Dillon's Pork Chop Cellars has size, speed, and determination that helps power Jackie Hayes' Wildcats offense. This pork chop eats up defensive linemen with superior technique and strength that has earned him a spot in the North-South All-Star game. Myrtle Beach High is no longer known as a finesse team thanks to players like Seahawks center Taylor Smith. Number 69 makes few mistakes in Scott Early's high-scoring shotgun attack. The 4-year starter makes all the protection calls for the Seahawks. He's an excellent blocker who will play at the next level. Before that, he's heading to the North-South All-Star game. St. James right guard Jared Streetcheck is the first All-Zoner in Sharks history. Streetcheck has the perfect build for a right guard. He's 6'4" and weighs 305 pounds. The solid 3.0 student anchors both the offensive and defensive lines for Billy Hurston Sharks, who made the playoffs for the first time in the school's 3-year history. Marion senior Jamie Turner is country mean. At 6'1" and 300 pounds, it's nearly impossible to get around or through this 4-year starter, who's also a heavyweight wrestler. Turner will cap off his stellar career by playing on Saturday in the North-South All-Star game.
There is plenty of beef on the 2006 All-Zone offensive line. A fantastic offense. Mark Haggard is standing by with a state champ, Johnny White from the Cheraw Braves.
Well, they say 3 times the charm, K. Cheraw. Isn't that what they say?
That's what they've been saying in Cheraw, Marcus. An outstanding accomplishment by our team this year and just something the whole town's proud of them.
Let's talk about these All-Zoners. You got a few tonight, plus you've got somebody up on the podium.
Well, that's correct. Cliff Matthews, defensive end, tight end, tremendous player for us on both sides of the ball this year. Just a force on defense and offense.
You got Jerron Brown,
outstanding athlete, free safety receiver, and a lot of people in town been asking me why I hadn't thrown in the ball more, but they kind of getting on me a little bit about that, but we'll have to see. He's made a bunch of big plays for us. And we got Travis Smalls. I think he had 2,200 yards and 30 touchdowns this year as a sophomore, and those are just 3 big players of our team and a huge part of our success.
He's only a sophomore, and I'm not going to say anything, but, he could win the Zoneman next year. He's that good.
Travis is an outstanding player. I'm not going to set any limits on him. He can accomplish a lot of good things.
All right, state champion. You beat Newberry. Finally did it after 3 years. You got there a couple of times before, and it's kind of painful to leave Columbia without the W, but you finally got it done.
You're right. It was very disappointing the previous 2 years being so close to winning a state championship and not getting there. But our team just kept plugging away this year, and I felt like it was a total team effort. And this year we were down 24-14 in the 4th quarter, and we came back and punched 2 touchdowns in late and held them on D. Cliff made a big play at the end there on that sack on the 4th down play that sealed the win.
Johnny White of the 2A state champion Cheraw Braves. Rich, back to you.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. The 2005 Zoman winner from Cheraw High School, Chris Massey, Cliff Matthews. We'll meet him later in the show. He is on the podium and heading to Columbia to play for Steve Spurrier and the South Carolina Gamecocks. One of the great stories of the 2006 season was the rise of the Shark. St. James having a phenomenal year in just their third year of varsity football, and the first All-Zoner is standing by in Sharks history with Mandy Mitchell.
All right, Rich, I'm here with Jared Strichek. He's the offensive lineman for the Sharks. I always love standing next to offensive linemen. I feel particularly short doing that. Tell me how it feels to be the first Shark to ever get on this team. It's quite a big honor.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is history, and I feel pretty good about it, but I'm sure we'll have more people come in the next few years because we got some pretty good athletes out there.
Now, you're really getting a chance to build the tradition at St. James. You started there as a freshman. You just had a JV team, is that right? And then now you're a senior, and you're really trying to build a tradition there. So tell me how that's been, how that whole journey's been for you.
Well, it's been pretty rough, actually. Our first few years, we didn't win many games. And then finally, we hit the weight room really hard, and things started to pay off.
Tell me what it was like this year, finally winning 5 games and feeling like you got some good wins.
Well, I know 5 games doesn't sound like much, but to us, it was enough. We got to the playoffs. It felt really good. And you can finally see that hard work does pay off.
All right, congratulations, Jared and the Sharks. Rich, back to you.
All right, Mandy, thanks so much. And Mr. Strichek is right. There will be more Sharks here at the banquet. Keep an eye on Ingram Bell and Brandon Tyson. They should do some big things next year for Billy Hurston and the St. James Sharks. Let's take a break. When we come back, time to meet the all-zone defense. We'll see who's going to attack, and we'll have the Zoman winner coming up later in the show. That's when our special continues here from the Lakewood Conference Center right after this. Well, welcome back to the 2006 Chevy End Zone Banquet here at the Lakewood Conference Center in Myrtle Beach. It is time now to meet the 2006 All-Zone Defense.
It's time to meet the 2006 All-Zone Defense. We begin with the linemen. Wilson High's Lance Clark is Darrell Page's biggest surprise. Clark developed into a disruptive force on the dark side defense. He's 6 feet even and weighs just over 250 pounds. The 3-year starter has emerged as the Tigers' team leader with 9 sacks in one of the toughest regions in the state, and he's heading to the North-South All-Star game. Lakeview's Charles Jones dwarfs most of the linemen in Class 1A. He's 6'3", 305 pounds of all man. After battling back from a knee injury last year, he's dominated everyone he's faced, playing both ways for Jewel McLaurin's Wild Gators, and he'll join his coach in the Shrine Bowl later this month. Timminsville's Nick McElveen is a hard-hitting lineman for the Whirlwinds. He plays the bandit position, a hybrid defensive end / linebacker for head coach Bill Tate. McElveen made some big plays for the Whirlwinds in 2006, and he's off to play in the North-South All-Star game. Marlboro County defensive end Bernard Parnell has had more than 20 sacks over the past 2 seasons for the Bulldogs. He's an athletic lineman and a sure tackler on Marlboro County's Black D, and he is one of 2 Bulldogs playing in the Shrine Bowl. At the other defensive end position is teammate John Tillman, who had more than 10 sacks this season and simply punishes running backs. Tillman and Parnell a big reason for the great success of Marlboro County in 2006. Conway's Chris Walls may be the area's most consistent big-time hitter. He doesn't just tackle, he runs through people. Walls was one of the area leaders in sacks and helped set the tempo on Chuck Jordan's talented Tiger defense. Here are the 2006 All-Zone linebackers. We begin in North Myrtle Beach with middlebacker Chris Green. He was the area's second leading tackler with more than 160 stops on the season and was a big reason that the Chiefs claimed the Region 6 3A crown. Darlington's Lee Manley was the area leader in tackles in the regular season. The quarterback of the Falcons defense made calls and adjustments for the Falcons D and played sideline to sideline as well as any middle linebacker in the state. Donovan Richard from Carvers Bay is clearly the most athletic linebacker on the All-Zone team. He's quick to the football and makes big stops during crunch time. Richard had 4 picks and doubled as a possession receiver in what was a season to remember for Nate Thompson's Bears. Richard is heading to the North-South All-Star game. Evan Rose from Myrtle Beach High plays as if every play is his last one. He has a high revving motor and hits with authority. Head coach Scott Early says this junior backer has great instincts. It's no wonder he had more than 150 tackles for the Seahawks. Marion linebacker Sean Shannon is called the Nose, and he has a nose for the football. The 210-pound senior is a 3-year starter. He gets his share of sacks and tackles as captain of the Swamp Fox's suffocating defense. Shannon is heading to play in the North-South All-Star game. Conway's Jonathan Sharp is a headhunter on Chuck Jordan's defense. This linebacker is one of the area's leading stoppers with over 120 on the season. Sharp will play for the South squad in the North-South All-Star game. Myrtle Beach High linebacker Bruce Taylor is a 6'3", 230-pound menace for the Seahawks. Humble off the field, he's a nightmare for ball carriers. This junior has amazing numbers. Despite missing 4 games with an injury, the junior had more than 140 tackles. With 1 year left in his high school career, Bruce Taylor has committed early to play at Virginia Tech in the fall of 2008. Dillon's LaTuan Thompson is one of the finest all-around athletes on this year's all-zone team. He puts the nasty in the Nasty Cats defense. He's a ferocious tackler with well over 110 stops. East Clarendon linebacker Rokie Wise is hungry like a Wolverine to make tackles. He led the team in that department with more than 120 this year. Rogie was a big reason why East Clarendon scored a shocking upset over Timminsville and advanced to the second round of the Class 1A playoffs.
And we have one more state champ to talk to. Mark Haggard's standing by with the Papa Bear.
Yeah, we have 3 state champions from the area. Last but not least, do we own 1A football in the End Zone Nation?
Well, I can say like this. We're just proud to be here every year, and I'm proud to know I got a table to sit at.
But, I mean, Jewel McLaurin of Lakeview, they win their 1A Division 2. You win the 1A Division 1. And, I mean, it just keeps on coming. You've only been playing 7 years at Carvers Bay, and this is your second title. Let's talk about some of the young men you've got here tonight very briefly about you got one on the podium, too.
Well, I'm really thrilled that, we've come a long way in 7 years. And a young man like Donovan Richard, I mean, he just makes us look good. And he makes our community look good. And Malcolm Elder, I'm really proud for that young man because he's come a long way. And I think year in and year out, they thought he couldn't get it done, but that young man, he just bounces back.
Look out for the Carvers Bay Bears because they're going to reload again for next year. Rich, back to you.
All right, Mark, thanks so much. It's been a great year for the small schools. Don't forget about Lamar, Carvers Bay, Lakeview, and Conway sets a record this year with 7 all-zoners. Myrtle Beach had 5 here at the banquet, and Mandy Mitchell is standing by with a future Hokie.
I am. I don't even know if he knows what a Hokie is. Do you?
I think it's a bird.
It is a bird. This is Bruce Taylor from Myrtle Beach High School. He's a linebacker. Now, you guys had quite a season this year, 10 wins. You guys just seem to keep getting better every year. Tell me about this season and then next season, the great expectations.
Well, yeah, we had a great season. Everybody was focused, came to play. Wish we could have got farther, but, that's how things go. Next year, we got a nice 08 class that'll be seniors next year and be pretty good.
Now, we've talked about that. You already committed to Virginia Tech. You got that out of the way. Tell me about that decision process and why you decided to go play for the Hokies.
Oh, it's because I just know that that's a really good school from watching them on TV. I know a player that went there, that went for our school, that told me it was a real good school, and the defense. And they run a lot of the same stuff that we do, and it's just a real nice school.
All right, Bruce Taylor hoping to bring the Hokies back to the top of the ACC in a couple years. For now, Rich, back to you.
All right, Mandy, thanks so much. It's funny when we watch these great players play all the time and we see Bruce Taylor make a big tackle like we do. We look at the screen and say, Frank Beamer, you're welcome. Come into our backyard. There's some outstanding players. There's no question about it. When we take a break, we'll meet the rest of the 2006 All-Zone team, the defensive backs, the punter, the kicker, plus our Zone Scholar athletes. That's when we return here to the Lakewood Conference Center right after this. Welcome back to the show. It's time now to round out the roster and check out the rest of the 2006 WPDE All-Zone team.
Let's check out the defensive backs. Hartsville's Shane Champion tied for the area lead with 10 interceptions. He's not afraid to step up and make a hit. Champion had more than 100 tackles for Jeff Calabrese's defense. He's a big reason why Hartsville went 3-1 in the region and made it into the Class 4A playoffs. We're putting Marcus Flagger at defensive back. This Mullins auctioneer could have also made All-Zone as a running back. He ran for more than 1,100 yards and 10 touchdowns. As a DB, this young man is a playmaker, whether it's cheating up to stop the run or covering receivers like a blanket. Same story for Lamar's Marquez Hamlin. He makes the highlights as the Silver Foxes quarterback, but like his older brother Michael, who starts at defensive back for Clemson, Marquez is quick on his feet in the secondary. He's a solid student, a hard hitter from his DB position, and a real difference maker for Coach Charlie Poole and Lamar. Conway's Donald Hunter is the leader of the Tigers secondary. In addition to 7 interceptions on defense, Hunter was also a key contributor in special teams, making a number of big plays, including as a return man. Hemingway's Denzel Wedgeworth makes all zone at DB. He has the speed and quickness to shut down nearly every receiver he faces. Wedgeworth also played quarterback, rolling up more than 1,600 yards of total offense for Ken Cribb's Hemingway Tigers. The 2006 All-Zone kicker is Ryan Quigley of North Myrtle Beach High. He nailed 6 field goals for the Chiefs this season with a long of 44 yards. Most of his kickoffs are not returnable. The solid student with a strong leg is back on the All-Zone team for a second straight year. The 2006 All-Zone punter is Spencer Benton from Myrtle Beach High. The Seahawks junior led the area, averaging 42 yards a punt. Not just a strong leg, Benton had 11 punts inside the opponent's 15-yard line. He's a 3-sport star at Myrtle Beach, and as a place kicker, he owns the area's longest field goal this season at 49 yards. The 2006 Skeeza Player of the Year is Dylan Christian tight end Philip Price. Much in the same mold as Clemson's Thomas Hunter out of PD Academy, Clemson is taking a good look at Price to become their next diamond in the rough. Price has sure hands, he's a solid blocker, and an excellent student.
And a new tradition started here with the All-Zone team. Each and every year we will recognize a Skeeza Player of the Year, and Philip Price does us proud with our first honor, and looking forward to many, many more. Dylan Christian reaching the state championship game in Sumter in Skeeza. Time now for a very important award. It's an award that balances everything: academics, athletics, and overall character. Mandy Mitchell introduces us to this year's Zone Scholar Athletes.
This season, Palmetto Pigskin Preview and WPDE Sports formed an area touchdown club, bringing in guest speakers during the football season for a Thursday lunch and to honor 6 Powerade Players of the Week. The culmination of the TD Club was the presentation of 4 $1,000 scholarships for this year's Zone Scholar Athletes. Our PD recipient already earned his spot on this year's All-Zone team. Lee Manley of Darlington has just as many impressive credentials at the prestigious Mayo School as he does on the gridiron.
Lee is an example of what a young high school football player should be. He stuck with the program as a 9th grader, listened to what we preach about grades, being a good kid and doing the right thing.
I'm the first kid in my family to go to college at West 3, so I'm hoping it'll help them, like Lee by example, help them with trying to get scholarships, trying to strive for what they want to do.
The Grand Strand winner is Albert Brown of Myrtle Beach High School, who spent 3 years battling in the trenches on the Seahawks line. His efforts in the classroom are paying off as well.
He has 6 other brothers and sisters. He'll be the first family member in the Brown family to go to college, and he does a good job in the classroom. He's got over 1,100 on SAT. He's got a 3.9 GPA, and he's just a good example of what a student athlete could be and should be.
It feels great to win this scholarship. I wanted to thank everybody for nominating me for this and helping me get to the next level.
The Ray of Hope Scholarship is awarded in memory of Darrell Ray, a Coca-Cola employee who was killed in an automobile accident in 2005. The $1,000 grant will be awarded each year to a high school football player who has outstanding leadership skills on the field and in the classroom. This year's recipient is Myrtle Beach High's Max Sanders, who not only was an unsung hero in the Seahawks' successful 2006 season, but a true leader for Scott Early's team.
Well, it feels real good. Really need that money. I'm working jobs right now trying to save up for it. Hopefully I can bring in some other scholarships to pay off college. So it feels great.
Mac is the spiritual leader of our football team, our baseball team. He's played 2 sports for me for 4 years, and he just, honestly, I've never seen him make a mistake. He lives and is an example to all, and he's probably taught me a whole lot more than I've ever taught him.
The cheerleaders are a big part of the Friday night football experience, and each year the Touchdown Club will honor a senior cheerleader with a $1,000 scholarship. Holly Dossie of St. James was cheering on the best season of St. James football in the school's 3-year history. Dossie is on her way to the University of South Carolina next fall.
So, she deserves it. She doesn't have the greatest opportunity to go to college with a lot of money, but she's a cheerleader at her school. She's always smiling. And she deserves some money and some help to go to college.
School is very expensive, and this is actually really great that every penny counts, and it's really good to know that I'm going into school with $1,000 already from the scholarship, so it's really exciting. It's really exciting. It's really exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for our 2006 Zone Scholar athletes. Each one of these great student athletes will be getting $1,000 thanks to Palmetto Pigskin Preview and our area touchdown club. And special thanks to all of our sponsors of the magazine, including Sonic and Hooters, as we could not give this money away if it wasn't for all of our great sponsors of the magazine. It's time to take a break. When we come back, it's time to meet the finalists for the 2006 Zoman Trophy. Who's getting the big award? We're going to find out right around the corner.
Welcome back to the 7th Annual All Zone Banquet presented by the Carolina Chevy Dealers. Over 2,000 votes were cast on WPDE.com for the End Zone Plays of the Year. And here they are, the top plays captured by the WPDE photographers during the 2006 season as voted on by you, the fans.
And we want to thank all the WPDE photographers for doing a great job all season long of bringing us so many great plays each and every Friday night. And want to thank all the great fans for logging on to our website, WPDE.com. As is tradition, thousands and thousands of votes to pick the 2006 Plays of the Year. Well, the time has come now to meet 4 amazing young men who once again add to the legacy of the All Zone team and the podium. When you look at names past, South Carolina Gamecocks like Savell Newton and Bobby Wallace, Anthony Waters of Lakeview, many, many more over the years have given this podium so much credibility, and now we have 4 more great people to add to the list. It's time now for Mark Haggard and Mandy Mitchell to introduce you to this year's Zoman finalists.
Our first Zoneman finalist is a 6'1", 200-pound senior from Lake City High School.
I'm Scotty Cooper, Lake City High School, Rose's linebacker, and I want to win the Zoneman.
Scotty Cooper wears number 4 in honor of his favorite player, Green Bay Packers quarterback Brett Favre. Cooper plays both ways on the Class 3A level. He played quarterback and running back for the Panthers. His natural position is linebacker, where he collected more than 100 tackles his senior season. Here's how he describes his game.
Ferocious. Just fast. That's how I play the game fast. That's why colleges love me, because I have the speed that I have, and just hard hitting and have a nose for the ball. I just like to get to the football, whether I'm on, whether it's not running to me, I just like going to get it and, just hitting people.
While Cooper says he loves to hit, he also enjoys trash talking during the game.
I'm just a guy that likes to talk all the time and run my mouth and stuff like that and get in people's head, but I like to back it up too. I back it up, so if I can back it up, I'm a talk.
What makes this 3-year starter so valuable on the field? Just ask his head coach, Justin Gentry.
He's taking a figure of speech. We tell him fly to the football, and when you arrive, be there in a very angry mood, and that's what Scotty portrays. He gets to the ball, and he's upset when he gets there.
Cooper has made a solid commitment to play at Clemson next fall. He's excited about putting on the orange and running down the hill.
It's great. I love it. I feel at home. I'm complete there. I've been other places, and I like other colleges, but when you go someplace, you just got a complete feeling, you want to be there. And that's what I feel at Clemson. I love the coaches.
This Lake City Panthers star has big dreams after college. Maybe the NFL, maybe not.
I think I love football much to maybe coach college. I might want to be a counselor or something like that. I hadn't too much thought about it. I might be a preacher. I don't know.
Scotty Cooper is headed to the Shrine Bowl later this month.
Our next Zoman finalist is running back Malcolm Elder from Carvers Bay High School. Malcolm Elder is a fun guy to watch. He brings 4.40 speed and instinctive moves to the field.
The moves he does is just amazing. I've found myself many times like, oh.
The 5'8 senior entered the season as the favorite to take home the Zoman Trophy after finishing in third as a junior. In 2006, Elder lived up to his hype, racking up more than 1,900 yards on the ground and averaging about 8 yards a carry.
I won the Zoman this year because I couldn't win it last year, and I tried more harder this year, so I think I deserve it this year.
He doesn't let the size, throw him off. I mean, he's that type of kid that if he ever gets an open field, he's going to make it a foot race. And if he ever needs to have to get 1 or 2 yards to get that first down, he'll fight like crazy because he's got the strength to do that.
For the great athlete he is, you give him a little time, and he's already passed you.
And most of the time, he is running right to the end zone, a place he visited more than any other player in the area. And perhaps even more valuable than his ability to score touchdowns is his ability to lead. Malcolm helped mold a rookie offensive line this season. His method, no nonsense.
Pretty honest. If we act up a little bit during the game, maybe we don't get the right blocking assignments, he'll come out and tell us, and come to say, well, we need to get the job done.
Well, the truth, man, is just going to come out. I'm going to speak the truth from now on. Ain't no reason to lie.
He's that type of person. If you ask him a question, he's going to give you an honest, blunt answer, so you be careful what you're asking.
The senior is affectionately known by the nickname Eddie George for his striking resemblance to former NFL running back Eddie George. He is getting interest from 1A and 1AA football programs and will show off his game at this year's Shrine Bowl.
I know a lot of schools got a lot of great athletes, but that young man this year, especially this year, has really taken some people that we normally would have out here. He's taken those people under his wing, and he's taken, the team in a sense, and become a leader.
Our next Zoneman finalist is 6'2", 203-pound Kenneth Earl Hemingway. He likes to be called Junior.
I'm Junior Hemingway, wide receiver for Conway, and I want to win the Zoneman.
Hemingway started his high school career as a sophomore quarterback. Head coach Chuck Jordan switched Hemingway to wide receiver his junior season.
Well, I think the thing that makes Junior special as a football player is he's got great speed and great leaping ability to go with size. He's 6'2", 205, and he runs very, very fast and does a great job with the ball in the air.
The move to wideout proved to be a stroke of genius. Hemingway has caught more than 120 passes since then, with over 20 touchdown catches. Junior says he loves to catch the ball in traffic.
You can't see nothing else around you. It's just you and the ball. I mean, you got to go get it, regardless. So when you go get it, just catch it. Whatever you got to do, cover up, take the blow, whatever you do, just know that you had to catch the ball and you caught it. No matter how many people they put on you, you still got to catch the ball. I mean, it's your job to do that. And the best parts is when you have double, triple coverage, you still catch the ball. So, yeah, those are some of the best parts.
Junior wears size 14 shoes and has those huge receiver hands the college scouts love. Prior to his senior season, he committed to play for the Michigan Wolverines.
I mean, I always wanted to play in front of a bunch of people to show everybody, show the world my skills.
He comes from a strong football bloodline. 4 of his first cousins are all zoners: Andre, George, Karibi, and Rashid Gauze. They showed Junior the ropes. He remembers the vicious tackle football games in Bucksport.
We used to straight knock each other down, and you thought he was going to help you up, but nah, you had to get up yourself. We ain't going to help you up. So, I mean, scratches, bruises. Sometimes we was about to cry. We was like, suck it up, suck it up, suck it up. We had to suck it up, so we had some fun out there when we was playing.
Junior Hemingway is on a mission. He will play in the Shrine Bowl later this month.
Our last Zoman finalist is defensive end Cliff Matthews from Sherrall High School. Cliff Matthews looks like a football player. At 6'5", 230 pounds, it's hard not to notice this guy.
Whenever we play a team, they've got to be aware of where he's at when we're on defense and when we're on offense.
I'm a real intense player. I come off the line with a first quick step and get after the quarterback.
And he's good at that. The defensive end racked up more than 10 sacks this season. And he's not a bad tight end either, averaging about 24 yards every catch.
I mean, it get us hyped, you know. It get us motivated to keep playing hard. And, you know, when he does well, the team perform well, too.
I can recall when he was playing JV for us in the 9th grade, and we were playing Lamar. And I don't want to wish bad luck on anybody, but he put out 2 quarterbacks for Lamar's JV team then, and I kind of felt like, hey, this kid's got a chance to be pretty special, and he's lived up to the billing.
And it's that high-powered motor that made the senior a blue-chip recruit. Name a college, and Cliff probably got a call from the coach. But Steve Spurrier and the Gamecocks won the recruiting battle with a well-timed comment to Matthews on a recruiting visit to Columbia.
What sort of made me commit was at the Auburn game, Coach Spurrier told me that he was one defensive end away from winning the game, and that sort of gave me the momentum to commit. And I was pumped up. I was ready to go out there and play.
Cliff is also a great basketball player and hopes to play both sports in college. It may surprise some people to learn he actually prefers the round ball.
I like basketball more than I like football because basketball was my first love.
Mr. Matthews brings an impressive resume to this list of Zoman finalists. He led his team to an undefeated regular season and a trip to the playoffs. And he will play in the Shrine Bowl later this month.
Cliff is the best player in this area. It's proven. I mean, look at that stats, baby.
Once again, the 4 Zoman finalists are Scotty Cooper, Malcolm Elder, Junior Hemingway, and Cliff Matthews. Matthews.
And when we come back, we'll tell you who the 2006 Zoman winner is. The waiting is over. It is time now to announce the winner of the 2006 Zoman Trophy. 40 area coaches make their selection along with some media members. 3 points for a first place vote, 2 points for a second, and 1 for a third. There are our 4 finalists, and it is time now to bring the Zoman to a Class 1A school for the very first time. Malcolm Elder of Carvers Bay, the winner of the 2006 Zoman Trophy. I'm going to come in here with Malcolm. This is your second time on the podium, and Malcolm, just tell me how you're feeling right now holding this big trophy.
Oh, man. I feel like I accomplished one of my goals, man. And I think off of everything. I think my family, and I also thank Coach T and the community. Man, I'm just nervous, man.
Well, you don't have to be nervous anymore. Where are you going to put this trophy?
I don't know, wherever it could fit.
It is a massive trophy, and I want to not only congratulate Malcolm, but 3 guys here. I think you got the potential to have the best podium ever. Cliff Matthews is going to do amazing things for Steve Spurrier and the Gamecocks. Scotty Cooper, we're glad you're on the podium, and I know Tommy Bowden's very proud. And Junior Hemingway, hail to the victors valiant, heading to the Big Ten and Michigan. That does it for us. Thanks so much for watching this year's 2006 Zone Banquet.